Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I was about to say Wednesday, but it's only Tuesday. We've got day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. Really enjoying spending some time with you guys. As you hop on, please say hello in the comments so I can see who is here, so I can shout you out. Today, we are diving into organic social media strategies. We're actually going to have 2 sessions on organic social media strategies. Today, we're going to be focusing predominantly on Facebook. So we're going to give it about 30 more seconds. Hello, Miss McClung. Hello, Miss Vanderpool. Hello, Miss Schneiderbeck. Hope I said that properly. Miss Anna from Fortitude. Nice to see you here, ladies. Got all the ladies here today. I love it. Let's dive in. I only got now 29 minutes. Let me share my screen over here. Day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. We're going over 12 critical marketing strategies for you to implement and make sure you are ready to rock and roll going into 2024. Hello, Miss Piper. Hello, Mr. Donald. Nice to see you guys. We are on day 3. We're going all this week, all next week. We kicked it off with laying the marketing foundations, making sure you're auditing your NAP. We then talked about branding yesterday, and today we're talking about social media strategies, what's working right now. Hello, Miss Lance. Nice to see you. As always, take notes, participate, and ask questions. I'm doing a fact about Cris every single day. And this one is, some of you might know that I am a mom. I got a super cute little guy named Cruz. We call him Cruz Missile. That is his nickname. But I'm also a bonus mom to 2 absolutely amazing young men, Nate and Darian. Darian is my integrator here at GrowPro, and Nate is an instructor at Gracie Pack. So gotta love having family-owned and operated businesses, but I am very, very blessed to have 3 amazing sons. Let's talk about your action items from yesterday. So I gave you this branding blitz checklist to go through and answer the 7 questions about brand positioning and authority. For those of you that felt like there was some room for improvement in terms of making your brand a little bit stronger. The other action item, if you felt like you had that kind of on lock, was to create your brand template inside of Canva. So I showed you guys what my brand template looks like. And it's just a great way that anytime you are doing any form of print marketing and you're going to put something up in your school, that you make sure that it's on brand. So those were your action steps. Remember, being on these calls is being in motion. Doing the action steps, that is actually taking action. And that's what is going to move the needle the most. Okay. So I was born in 1985. I feel like I was kind of one of the last, that last generation that still played outside, still rode our bikes, still came inside when the street lights came on. We drank out of the water hose. And I feel very blessed because I had an analog childhood, but then I had a digital like teenhood and adulthood. So I had a Nokia cell phone when I was 16. Texting was just starting to come out. We had MySpace profiles, but I do feel blessed that I was able to, still have that typical, childhood where you're playing with glue on your fingers and, just it was an analog childhood. And I also got to experience, social media, but not in the way that kids are experiencing it today. And the interesting thing is that every single one of our prospects now today is walking around with a way that you can instantly connect with them. Every single one of them. You probably have it in your pocket or less than a couple of feet away from you, or you could even be watching this live on it. And I'm talking about your cell phone, okay? We can text prospects, we can email prospects, we can call them, we can get in front of them with apps and specifically social media. And because of this, you need to be on social media because this is where your prospects are. And when you start planting all of these digital marketing seeds that we talked about on day one, you create a vortex of movement in your business to be seen. And you now become that business where people are saying, we see you guys everywhere. So I get the question all the time, which platforms should I be on? And I have this in order of importance. And to me, your success specifically on social media and digital marketing in general starts with a foundation of your Google business profile. And while Google business profile isn't a form of social media, it is, in my opinion, the foundation of your online presence. And we are going to be doing a training later on this week, all about local SEO, which in part has to do with your Google business profile. So if this thing isn't optimized, if this isn't where it needs to be, you're not going to see as much success on the other platforms. Then in terms of social, Facebook, it's still in terms of the age groups and demographics that we are going after, typically for adult programs and kids programs, it's still the #1 social media app. And to me, before you start, investing a ton of time, into platforms like TikTok, you need to make sure that you have Facebook's foundational items done, which is what we're going to be talking about. Instagram would be next, and it's mainly because we see a lot of our parents on there and a lot of the adults, and there's a definite group of people that are kind of over the maybe potential politics of Facebook and the keyboard warriorness that occurs and have really kind of shifted their focus over to Instagram. Next, I have YouTube. And the reason is because YouTube is, besides Google, the next largest search engine. And having a presence on Google and having a channel where you're putting out content can actually help you rank higher on Google. And Google and YouTube, they go, hand in hand, kind of like peanut butter and jelly. And then finally, we have TikTok. And this misconception that only kids are on TikTok, it's completely not true. If you just Google TikTok demographics and stats, you are going to see that your ideal customer is on TikTok. The reason why I want the focus first on Facebook and Instagram and then YouTube and then TikTok is because TikTok really, from like a commercial and going viral aspect, is really better for what I would consider like e-com companies. I had a client, I did this session on TikTok maybe about 2 years ago, and kind of showed everybody, how to create, different videos, how to use filters. And they put a video out that went viral. It got over 1 million views. And she, sent me a message and was like, hey, I had this video that went viral. How do I monetize this? And, the issue is with a brick and mortar, the amount of people that were actually in her area that saw that video that now followed her was a very, very small amount. And unless you have potentially some form of like an online training course or, you sell like curriculum DVDs, monetizing it is going to be much more difficult. And that's why I like for schools to really start with that basis of Facebook and then work their way up. The other thing about TikTok, it is a huge time vampire. The first time I ever got on the platform, I was sitting in my car in the parking lot of my office, and I looked up and like 2 hours had gone by. And, while it's not incredibly difficult to create videos for somebody that's never been on the platform before, there are just so many different options with how you can create videos that it can become really overwhelming. Okay, so this is kind of the order of importance. If your Google business profile is optimized and you're ranking high, if you've got all the check boxes checked off with Facebook, you're leveraging Instagram, you're posting stories, you're tagging your members, You've got your link tree set up in Instagram. If you got your YouTube channel pumping out content, then I would, worry about TikTok. And then from a paid ad standpoint, which we're going to be talking about here in a couple of days, TikTok does not, TikTok uses something called designated marketing areas, DMA. They are slowly rolling out zip codes. They only have a couple thousand zip codes where you can actually do zip code targeting. So for example, Tampa Bay has a designated marketing area of about an hour and a half travel time. So if I put out TikTok ads, I'm going to be showing those ads to everybody that lives in about an hour and a half radius. And that's, not necessarily who I want to be targeting. I want to be targeting people that are in, maybe a 5 to 15 minute drive from my school. Okay. So let's talk about what types of content, because this is, just a way to ideate what you should be putting on. And then we're going to talk about the engagement of the content, because if you are consistently posting on these platforms, more than likely you are seeing engagement absolutely tank. And guys that are watching, those of you who have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Okay. I've got a second screen with the comments pulled up. So for those of you that are posting content, you don't need to be posting 3 times a day, 7 days a week. And the reason is because Facebook purposefully pulls back your reach. So unless you're putting money in front of these posts, the time and energy and effort of doing picture posts, things like class highlights, student achievements and spotlighting, highlighting your staff and doing instructor profiles, doing tutorials, behind the scenes pictures of meetings, screenshotting Google reviews, putting promotional content. Maybe you have a holiday promotion that's going up, event coverage. Maybe you're doing a parent night out. Tips, right? Here are some parenting tips. Here are some stretching tips. Historical insights in terms of like martial arts or your brand story. You can live stream classes. You can do frequently asked questions. You can do interactive polls. Memes and humorous content typically are going to get the most engagement. You've got your motivational quotes that everybody likes to lean on just because it's easy to create. You can showcase merchandise. You could do a virtual tour of your academy. UGC is user-generated content. So this is having your own students create content that you put out, which would kind of be like case studies, testimonials, health and wellness advice, and then just announcements and updates, right? So this is this is just 20 different ideas in terms of the type of content that you can be putting out on your social media. The issue is what Miss Piper just said. I post every day, but can't seem to get engagement. 0 likes, 0 comments. And this is the question that I was going to pose. Do you post and get very little engagement? So let me know in the comments, do you post and get very little engagement? So the first question you really need to ask yourself is, am I putting out content that resonates with my audience, or am I just putting out content to put out content, right? You're like, okay, I know I need to put out a piece of content. The benefit of being consistent with putting out content is that, especially if you are running ads, or maybe, a parent refers somebody to your school, that person potentially would go check on your socials. The reason why you want to have something on there is just to show that you're relevant and up to date, right? If I go to a Facebook business page and I see the last time they posted in 2000 was like 2019, I'm going to question if this business is still even open. So it shows that you're relevant and it shows that you're up to date, okay? And from the comments, we're seeing little, some engagement, depends on the post. Yes, struggling. Well, guys, this is why, okay? The reason why you post and get very little engagement, let's say it is a really great piece of content, right? It's because only 6 to 15% of your followers will see it. And Facebook is doing this on purpose because they want you to pay them to get your content in front of your actual audience. So if you had 100 followers, only 6 to 15 are gonna see, right? Let's call it like 5% to 15%. So if you got 1,000 followers, you're only 50 to 150 are going to see it. And they're doing this on purpose because the platform has now become pay to play, right? 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you could post and you could get 20, 30, 40, 50 likes and comments. And now it's very rare that that happens. The type of content that we do see get most engagement is specific content about, like from promotions in terms of somebody earning a black belt or somebody earning a big belt and doing a piece specifically on them. We see staff profiles get a lot of engagement. And just like funny memes typically will get more engagement than just pictures of your classes. But Facebook is doing this on purpose because they want you to pay. My suggestion, even though we're talking about organic social media, is if you do have a post that you notice resonates, right? So Ms. Vanderpool said some engagement. Ms. McClung says depends on the post. If you put a post out there, let's say you normally get like 2 to 3 likes or 5 to 6 likes, and this one got 30 or 40, I would choose that piece of content and I would boost it. Okay. Now, obviously, there's some technical button pushing stuff. If you're a Grow Pro client, we can handle that for us. You just let us know, hey, can you put X amount and boost this post? And the reason why boosting works is because it helps you to increase the audience of people that you can then retarget. Okay. But I would only take, $5, $10, $15, $20 on the posts that resonate the most. Okay. But that's why you're getting very little engagement. If it is quality content, it's because Facebook is purposefully pulling back your reach because they want you to pay. Okay. They got bills too. One of the things that you can start testing that we've seen success with is Reels. And Reels, because Facebook and Instagram are trying to compete with TikTok, are basically being pushed by the algorithm more so than other types of content. And on day number 6 of the 12 Days of Christmas, we're really going to be unpacking an entire Reel strategy. The reason why I think most of you probably won't do this is because it's a lot easier for you to just go in Canva and post some motivational, image than it is to actually have to sit down, get the footage, film the footage, edit the footage, and post it. And this is, one thing that requires a little bit more work, but if you're already going to put some time and energy in it, what if we just take an extra 5 to 10 minutes and that can help get it out in front of more people because the algorithm is purposefully pushing this in front of more people. It's favorite, it's basically playing favorites to Reels. The downside is just it takes a little bit more time. And if you've never done it before, there might be a larger learning curve, just depending on, how quickly you are with, editing videos on your phone. Miss McClung says, that's why I pay my daughter to do it. Miss Coffin, struggle bus. Miss Vanderpool, when we do lives, it suggests to make it a Reel. Is that effective, or should we leave lives if they are? I mean, if they're suggesting it, I would give it a try. There's not going to be any harm from it. Lives are another really great piece of content that I feel like a lot of people were doing when they first came out and then kind of fell off. Every single one of us has the ability to go live during classes. And when it is a fun and exciting class, I know Ms. Vanderpool, you guys have big fitness kickboxing classes. The music's pumping. It's very energetic. Facebook also pushes lives out, and it's going to put it more in front of your followers than just a regular picture or even a pre-recorded video. I would much rather you do the live and the Reel over a pre-recorded video. Maybe like during class you went and you took some, video recordings here, and then you just post the video. The time is better spent either turning it into a Reel or doing a Facebook Live. So Ms. Vanderpool, I would absolutely give that a shot, okay? So it could be that the content you're putting out isn't great. I mean, that is a viable option, right? But more than likely, it's just due to Facebook wanting you to give them some money, okay? The next thing I want you guys to really kind of lean into, right? And I think this Facebook Live is, a good example. There's, about 20 people watching, and maybe about 5 or 6 of you are actually getting in the comments. You need to turn from a lurker to a content creator. I want you to transform from somebody that just goes online and looks to actually becoming a content creator. And part of that is doing CPR. And CPR is just an acronym for commenting, posting, and replying. And something as simple as being friends with the families inside of your school, and you notice that the mom just posted that little Johnny was student of the month, and going in and just commenting on it so that they see your name is a form of retention. It's called social media. We are supposed to be social. So you need to comment, you need to post, and you should also reply. Even if, let's say you went live, right? So Ms. Vanderpool's been going live in their classes, and you get some people to comment on that live video. If you don't see it when you're going live, or maybe you got the camera flipped around, after you publish the live, go back and reply to those comments, because that helps get it out more as well. Okay. Something that's interesting, like when I post, even just on my personal timeline, and let's say I post a picture of me and my son, or me and my family, and somebody comments, if I comment back to that person, instead of just hearting or liking the comment, I notice that this snowball effect starts to happen. More and more people comment on it. I reply to those comments, and it pushes it out in front of more people. So it's this concept of comment, post, and reply. You guys are already putting in the effort. Just take it up a notch. Ms. Vanderpool says, I need to be better at this. Thank you for the reminder. Absolutely. All right. Awesome. So my challenge, go from a lurker to a content creator, and make sure you're doing CPR. Next, I want to talk a little bit about Facebook groups. 3 different types of groups, okay? I think a lot of us put a lot of effort into our student, parent, and member groups during COVID, because we really didn't have any other opportunity, opportunity to talk to them, because they weren't in our facility. And then it can very easy die off. So 3 different types of groups I want you to consider. Number 1, you absolutely need to have a student and parent group. You can do What's Up Monday live videos that's just talking about what's going on in the school. You can do updates, shout outs, technique videos, motivational content, funny memes, and behind the scenes. Very similar types of content that we went over that you could post on your page. You can also post in the group, okay? The other type of group that you could own and create is a prospecting group. And my recommendation, if you're going to do this, it takes time, it takes energy, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. But there are a lot of mom groups, there are a lot of community groups. For instance, I'm in Tampa, but our school is near Carrollwood and West Chase. And there are a ton of mom groups and just local to the area, like things to do in Carrollwood, things to do in West Chase. Who says you can't be the one that creates it? You can own that group. You can use a title that potentially is trying to attract maybe more affluential areas in your community. And that place can now become an information center where people are asking, hey, we're looking for a new sushi spot. What's the best place in West Chase? Or somebody asks, I'd like to get my child enrolled in an extracurricular activity. What do you guys recommend? This, again, takes effort. But if you can own this group, anytime you're doing any form of community events, trunk or treats, pictures with Santa, Easter egg hunts, you have the ability to market for free to the thousands of people that could get in this group. Now, if that sounds like a lot of work, it is, but hard work pays off. You could also just join the local community group. So it's less work than owning your own prospecting group. But the key to this is not to be a lurker, right? Make sure you're commenting, you're posting, you're replying, and provide value. You don't want to be that person that just goes in and says, buy our 4-week for $49 trial. And if you do want to pitch, you need to make sure you ask the admin, because if you just go into their group that they spent a lot of time organizing and building, and you're just trying to sell stuff, you're going to get booted out, okay? Facebook groups, the group you are in right now watching this live video, guess what this group is? This group is a prospecting group. I've been working on it since 2019. I got almost 3,000 members in here. You guys see the amount of content that I put in. It is a lot of work, but this is my #1 marketing tool to get the word out about GrowPro. So you're literally seeing me do it right now. You can do this in your community for your martial arts school as well, okay? Next up, I want you to do an audit. This is a perfect time. We're coming towards the end of the year. I want you to audit your Facebook page. You need to check the NAP, name, address, phone number. We talked about that day 1. In your description of your Facebook page, you want to use keywords that people would potentially search for to find your school in your area. I gave the example, we're near Carrollwood, we're near martial arts. If somebody is searching for a martial arts school, they will potentially use those keywords if they live in that area. Posting consistently, I'm going to set the bar kind of low. I think it's something all of you can do 3 times a week just to show that you are relevant. We went over 20 different types of ideas for content. Whatever your monthly offer is, if you have a holiday promotion, create that offer on your Facebook page. You have an offers tab. It's very self-explanatory. You give it a cover photo, you put what the offer is, you can attach a coupon code, and you can link it to a checkout page. Monthly events. This is a big one that people get lazy on. When you post that event, now some of your families will see it. If you boost it, more of them, but now you have the ability for them to potentially share that event where you can get more registrations. Make sure you're responding to all of the recommendations that come in. And man, this is something my team's got to get better at. And I'm excited because we now have this AI chatbot that can do it for us. But DMs can often get missed on your Facebook business page because there's just so many different ways for people to connect with us, right? It's like Facebook messages sometimes just get forgotten. So make sure you're answering those. And like I said earlier, the content that's resonating the most, boost the post, okay? Last thing before our action steps, scammers are ruthless. I bet every single one of you once a week gets some form of a DM that says, we're going to shut down your Facebook page. 99.99% of the time, it is spam. It is fake. They're getting smart. They're using Facebook logos. Guys, if you're not sure, send it over to me. You need to make sure you have 2 admins on your page. This is really important. Oftentimes, people get hacked, and if they get hacked, they're the only admin on their page. They can no longer access their page. So it's got to be somebody that you really, really trust, but you should absolutely have 2 admins on your page. Change your password. This is important. If you are not changing your password consistently, it's going to be easier for them to hack. I did an entire webinar on security protocol. It was actually probably one of my least viewed webinars, and I would honestly think it's probably one of the most important. You can go to growproagency.com/webinars. I'll drop the link here. And I did this webinar on all of the security protocols that you should make sure you are following, okay? We're going to talk more about this when we get to paid media, but you should also own your own ad account if you are running ads. Here's your action item. You need to audit your Facebook business page. I gave you the things that I wanted you to audit right here. NAP, keywords in description, posting consistently, get the monthly offer. If you'd rather have my team do it for you, you can go ahead and grab a free marketing audit with the link that I just posted in the comments. And here is my gift to you for those of you that do not have my best-selling book on Amazon, The Best Known Dojo. My holiday gift to you. Shoot me an email at chris@growproagency.com. Give me your name and address, and I will send you. I'll eat the cost on the book. I'll eat the cost on the shipping, and I will send you a copy of my book. That is my holiday gift to you. Okay, so that's your homework. Do your audit. If you want us to do the audit, we'll do the audit. If you want your gift, info is in the comments. And tomorrow is all about making an impact in the inbox. We're going to be talking about winning email and SMS strategies. And there's been a lot of changes in the rules in terms of sending text messages. So we're going to talk about that to make sure that you stay compliant. And that is day number 3 of the 12 Days of Christmas. Mr. Donald, can someone at GrowPro walk and check out our Google business profile, make sure it's prompt and up to date? Yes, sir, we can actually do a heat map ranking for you. Let me just write that down. Heat map ranking, and we will shoot that over. Absolutely, sir. All right, I have your book. It's awesome. Very cool. All right, guys, that's it. That's day 3. See you back here tomorrow for day 4, all about email and text message marketing. Those of you that are showing up live, thank you so much. Those of you who are watching the replay, thank you so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.